Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name's Claire and today I am doing a week in review. So this is for the week starting November 18th. And so in my previous videos, what I've done is just to show you kind of what this looks like, but my previous videos have all been kind of the camera down and the full screen being the actual planner. So I wanted to just kind of film this in a slightly different format, and what I'm going to do is just talk through each of the days. And then I'll add a photo, probably potentially on this side or this side, of each of the days so you can actually see what I'm talking about. But I just thought it might be a little bit more interesting than just kind of staring at the same still of each day as I talk through it. So on Monday, and just to kind of preface this week, this is a very busy week for me. I had a final on the Tuesday. And this was following my sister visiting for kind of Thursday through Sunday. So originally I was hoping to do my final on the Friday. I bumped it to the Tuesday. And that was a course that I had given myself just over a week with the Tuesday. So I started the Monday prior. I was hoping to do it by the Friday. I bumped it to the Tuesday, but kind of 3 or 4 of those days had visiting. So I was essentially doing a full study for a final within a week. I won't say a full course because it was a challenge exam, but I did have to do the actual final that people taking the full course would be taking. So I had to read a whole textbook on accounting, study for the final, then take the final on the Tuesday. So that was pretty busy. And then the Thursday of that week, so 2 days later, I had a portfolio due to challenge another course that also I had to do essentially the full thing kind of within the 2 days between the final exam and then the portfolio. So it was a very busy kind of start to the week, and then you will see I had quite a few things that I put on like the Friday through Sunday, and I kind of used them as brain dump days where I put a whole bunch of stuff, and if I got anything done, great. But I wasn't planning on kind of getting all of that stuff done. So that's kind of how we're going through this week. So on the Monday, I had a YouTube video that went live. So I did my weekly planner setup. Those videos usually go live on my channel on a Monday. So I had that go up as scheduled. And then in terms of what I had to get done that day, so I had 5 chapters that I wanted to read from my textbook, and that was the last 5 chapters of the textbook, and the goal was get the full textbook read by Monday at the very latest. And then my exam was on the Tuesday at noon, so I wanted to have the full morning of the Tuesday to study prior to the exam. So I did manage to get the rest of the textbook read. And then I had a few other things on here like compost, garbage. I wanted to film and edit and upload a video for YouTube, but I didn't wind up doing that, nor did I do the compost or the garbage that day. It was really just a full study day, so everything else kind of fell to the wayside. In terms of my self-care, so I did want to do the items that I have listed most days. So journaling, meditation, either pulling a card or looking at an affirmation kind of page from my angel book, and then going for a walk. So in terms of those items, I did the journaling. I'm really good at being pretty consistent with my journaling. And then I went for the long walk with the dogs, which again, pretty consistent with that. So those are my 2 kind of safe items for the days. In terms of the meditation and the cards, unfortunately, I didn't really get either of those done. And that's just Maisie behind me that you're seeing. And then in terms of my positive affirmation, I do have a sticker on that day. I put all that I need to know and comprehend flows to me with ease. And that was just really my affirmation kind of going into my studying and getting ready for that final. So on the Tuesday, moving to that day, I had a little bit left of chapter 14 to kind of wrap up. So I did that, and then I did my studying day for the final. Final exam was at noon, so I didn't have a ton of study time before that. I do have here that I wanted to set up my report so that I was all prepped going into Wednesday. I didn't do that. I really just did my final. I had a couple hours and then we actually lost power for the night. It was quite windy here and we're on a small little island, so really easy for us to lose power. So with that being said, I didn't really do any filming because we didn't have power. The compost and garbage, again, it was just a very quiet day for me. I did do my journaling and I did do the walk and I did go get groceries as well. So all of that was pretty good, but in terms of the meditation and the cards, again, that one didn't really happen. Moving to the Wednesday, so I did film, edit, and upload a few videos on Wednesday. So I did my Shein haul that finally went live, and that went live the same day. I had already filmed the actual unpacking, but I just needed to film the try-on portion. So that's up on my channel now if you're interested in that. I filmed and I scheduled my week in review, which went up on the Friday. And then I also filmed my week setup for the following week, which went live on the Monday. So in terms of my next item, so for my portfolio, I really wanted to focus on starting with making sure I had the evidence. So part of this report is essentially for each of the outcomes of the course, I have to answer like a research-based question to support my knowledge, and then I have to add a couple paragraphs for each one in terms of my own experience, and then I have to provide the evidence to back up those claims essentially that I'm referring to. So I did go through and I found all the evidence that I wanted to use, and I added that all to kind of like a centralized folder, and I organized all of that, and that was kind of what I did on that day. I did receive an email back from one of the jobs that I'm actively applying for. I was basically just asking them for an ETA when I'd hear that back, so they responded with that. So in terms of the self-care on Wednesday, so I did fully get ready. So that was like getting dressed, doing my hair, doing my makeup, kind of like everything. I did my journaling. I did meditate on Wednesday. I did my walk on Wednesday. And I did also do an angel page on Wednesday. So the one that I pulled, and I just have on the sticker on the right-hand side, but it says, "Remember your magnificence." And I'm just going to read it here. So it says, "I remember I am one with God, eternally and in every situation, everywhere that I am. God is always by my side, watching over me unconditionally and loving me in all ways." So whether, you actually think of God in the Christian sense, or if you think of, replace God with the universe or whatever your belief system is, I just think that's a beautiful kind of message, just that you are fully supported. You have the protection of whatever you believe in, always with you by your side unconditionally. I think that's pretty powerful. I thought that was a beautiful message. And just to remember your magnificence and how powerful and amazing that you are. So I did that. And then the last thing that I did on the Wednesdays, I did watch a movie. I watched Hidden Figures. It's one of my favorite movies. It's about these women that were kind of the calculators of NASA. Really powerful work being done to support landing on the moon, and just talking about kind of like segregation and the divisions of the races and the privilege of the white people, and just like some of the challenges that were overcome during that time and that people really had to fight for. So if you haven't seen that, really highly recommend it. It's a really powerful movie, but I've rewatched it so many times. I think it's really great. On Thursday, so in terms of Thursday, that was the due date of my portfolio, as I'm sure you remember. So I went through, I just did a final review of my cover letter for my portfolio, my evidence. I created all of my evidence listings and descriptions, which is basically I'm saying, why is this evidence included? What does it show? All of that. And then I did manage to submit my portfolio on time. So really pushed through all day to get that done, but feeling really good that that's submitted. And then how that works is they will review that, and then they'll email me back with any kind of feedback or advice that they have. I can have a week to make those changes. And then once I send that in, that's final. It goes through to the assessor. Then I find out if it's approved and if I get the credit for the course. So if I do, the course is checked off of my bachelor's. If I don't, then I would have to take the complete course. So fingers crossed that all goes well. All of the ones I've submitted so far I've gotten approved with no issues. And I think I went through, I don't think I've gone through my self-care activities. So for Thursday, I did do my journaling, I did my walk, and that was about it. It was a very busy day. So I just kind of took it easy for the most part on that day. On Friday, so I aim to have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday video go up each week. So I did get my Friday video up on the same right day as well. And that's my week in review, so kind of similar to what you're watching here. In terms of self-care, I did do some baking. So I baked some scones, which was nice. I did my journaling. I did fully get ready. I did my walk, and I pulled a card for that day. The other thing that I did in terms of life admin, I went and got some groceries. So we have quite a small grocery store, so it's usually just go up and kind of get a few things for a few days, and then go back. So I did that. I did schedule a vet appointment. So my dog Maisie, she has a bump that's appeared over the past kind of week or so on her arm, just like a mass. So scheduled that appointment it was a couple days ago now, but we went, they said it's hard to tell, could be benign, could not be, but if it's still there in a week or two, to kind of call back and we can get that removed. Apparently for some breeds, when they're puppies, Maisie's only one, it's quite common to have masses kind of develop and then fall off. And those breeds she mentioned was like Staffy, Boxer, which we don't know what she has in her, but definitely possible for those breeds to be part of that. And then I had a whole bunch of stuff kind of for my business that I put for Friday, and I really didn't do anything on Friday. I did a coaching call with the winner of my contest, and then I went through and just kind of had a very chill day, let myself relax, all of that. And then Saturday, so also still a pretty low energy day, but in terms of what I did for self-care, I did my journaling, I did do the meditation, I did go for my walk, I had a rest day. I sent an email that I'd been meaning to respond to for a little while about kind of some consulting work, so I responded to that. I did actually do a bunch of Christmas shopping on Saturday, so I ordered some stuff just to be delivered to my sister's where I'm going for Christmas. And then the other thing I did that was a pretty big kind of a mental thing to overcome was I filled in the divorce papers that were sent for me that I need to fill in to avoid having to go to the court case. So essentially I filled those in, I sent them back to them on Sunday. And then what I want to do is hopefully get a response sooner rather than later where they just say that the papers are good. And then that will mean that I'm avoiding having to fly out to Spokane to go to a court case just to get some papers signed. So the last thing I did was I checked what textbooks I need for the courses that I am registered in for the January semester. So I have 3 courses that I've signed up for, just to make sure that I don't need to order any textbooks kind of myself before that happens. So we're looking all good there. And then again, I had a bunch of kind of business tasks that I wanted to try to do. I did have kind of create or play music. Essentially, I just rested. What I'm finding is I do better if I do like maybe 5 or 6 days where I go all in, all of my energy, work really hard, and then I kind of take a couple days where I just chill, reset, recuperate, all of that. It seems to be a pretty good cadence for me. And then on the Sunday, again, pretty low energy day, but I just had here that I wanted to do kind of some creative, kind of restful activities, but again, I slept a lot of Sunday. I just rested in bed, I read, I listened to an audiobook. I didn't film that on the Sunday. I did have on Sunday, originally I wanted to plan like my planner setup video, but I wound up doing that earlier in the week. My other kind of filming that I usually do on the Sunday, I just wasn't feeling it, so I decided to leave that for this week. There was nothing urgent and nothing needed to be uploaded before Wednesday, so just not really any rush there. In terms of my to-do list, so I had weigh-in and measurement. So I did do a weigh-in the Monday after this week. So I've got my starting weight in terms of what I'm trying to work from, my progress made so far since I've moved home, and then really kind of just to restart my health and wellness journey, where am I starting at, so that I know kind of as I make progress what that has looked like in terms of how have I fluctuated, where have I gone up or down. I've been stagnant probably for a couple months, so I just want to make sure that I'm kind of taking these steps to bring myself in like a healthier direction. The other thing I had here was start my stat course. I kind of just wanted to look over the course. It's one that I started earlier in a semester, then I put on pause as I changed my approach. So I did look kind of briefly at it, but I wouldn't say I started it, so I didn't really check that off. Follow up on hearing, so I did follow up with that email. I got the paperwork, I filled that in, I submitted it, all of that really fun life admin stuff you get to do. I did start my Christmas shopping, so that's always really fun to do, just to get some things ordered. And then I did want to kind of, as a secondary priority, which all of these items are compared to the top focus, the blog and the newsletter, and then updating some listings. I didn't really get that done. My top focus, so the accounting I got done, my business course I got done, the 25 planner, I started to date that, but I didn't get very far. So I'm just deciding, do I want to only update and date the actual, the calendar spreads at the start of each month? Or do I go through and do like every single day in the calendar or in the planner? And what would people kind of prefer? And so what I'm trying to figure out is, because it is a digital planner, is it worth doing that? Because each of the daily spreads is like two pages. So there's like a planning page and there's a reflection section as well. So it's just deciding kind of what people might prefer. And maybe I'll do both options. Maybe I'll do one where it's like just the month overview is dated, and then the dailies you're able to write your own date, and then if you miss a day it's not a big deal. And then maybe I'll do one where the dailies are also dated, just so it is a fully dated planner. So that's just kind of what I'm deciding, and I think that might be my mental block in actually getting that one done. And then lastly, I just have the happy list for the week. So just kind of some things that I'm grateful for that I'm really enjoying. So I've got Christmas plans and shopping. So just starting to get into like the holiday mindset a little bit. Cozy fires, so it's been getting chilly here. We have a beautiful wood burning fireplace. So we've had lots of fires kind of over the past week. It just kind of is a nice little ambiance. A lot of fuzzy snuggles, so my animals are all very snuggly, which I'm grateful for. So lots of kind of snuggles as I'm doing my journaling in the morning. Snuggles on the couch, and they're just kind of always by my side, whether it's my dogs or my cats. I've usually kind of got somebody nearby that's looking for some love. And then finishing those 2 courses this week. So that was my major win. Obviously I'm still waiting for the results, but crossing my fingers that both are going to be successful and both really big tasks that I got done. So really excited with that. And I would love to hear in the comments, you know, do you go back and actually like retrospectively review your week and see what did you plan to do? What did you actually do? Or do you just kind of plan, do what you do, and then the next week plan as, you know, depending on where you landed, what you're rolling over, what you're not, but not really go back and do a full reflection of like, what did you do? Why did it go well? Why did it not go well? Looking at your energy level, your mood, all of that. Would just love to hear kind of what your process is. So thank you so much for watching. I do a video like this each week, and I'd love feedback on if you prefer kind of this view where you're seeing me talking, or prefer where I have maybe the voiceover and you're looking at the planner directly and that's like the main screen. Just any feedback would be great. And as always, if you could like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and I hope you have a beautiful day ahead.